What's up, what's up? This is Beyonce on the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here, Miss Aaliyah. How you doing, girl?
It's so good to see you again.
You too. She's just looking fabulous. What are you wearing tonight?
I'm wearing Gucci shoes, Gucci.
2000s, the MTV VMAs. The world was buzzing. Fans were hyped to see their favorite artist. But behind the blinding flashing lights and roaring applause, something far darker was unfolding. An iconic figure, basking in the limelight, was about to be thrust into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons, and was about to become the story everyone would be talking about. What really happened that night, and why is the truth still wrapped in mystery? The VMAs just wrapped up, and the excitement didn't end with the show. It was the time for the after party. Flashy suits, designer dresses, chart-topping artists, and the biggest media personalities all rubbing elbows, celebrating their success. The scene was a bit of a mix of glitz and glamour, a picture-perfect Hollywood moment. But behind all the laughter and clinking glasses, something wasn't quite right. At the peak of his career, Jay-Z was in his element, surrounded by his suit, rising stars, and a crowd of people desperate to be in his orbit. The spotlight had been on him all night, and now he was ready to unwind. But as the night unfolded, a strange figure caught everyone's attention. A young girl, looking completely out of place, walked into the party. She was rather confused. She seemed like a fish out of water, lost in the ocean of flashing cameras and celebrities. No one cared, and they just seemed to ignore her. She didn't belong there, everyone could tell. But why was she there? And why did no one seem to care about her confusion? No one knew then that this moment would be the beginning of a story no one would expect. Fast forward to today. The world has changed, and so has the way we consume news. A journalist drops a bombshell, an old story, something no one had ever thought about in years. Allegations surface, claiming Jay-Z was involved in an case that night at the after party. The claim? Disturbing. The timing? Perfect for a viral storm. People are talking, sharing old videos, rehashing every detail from that night, speculating, questioning. The narrative spreads like wildfire, leaving no room for nuance. Jay-Z, caught in the whirlwind, releases a statement. Denial. He calls the allegations a distortion of the events. But that does not stop the accusations from piling up. How could something from so long ago suddenly come to light like this? And how did it all connect back to him? What really happened that night at the after party? The young girl, now deep in the heart of the party, wasn't blending in the way she hoped. She was an outsider, a stranger in a world that wasn't meant for her. The girl had actually come to New York City with nothing but the hope of getting a glimpse of the stars. No ticket to the VMAs. But fate, or maybe just an opportunistic limo driver, had different plans. The driver, who allegedly worked for Combs, called it a perfect fit when he invited her to the after party. She didn't think twice before climbing into the car. What harm could it do? Once inside the party, she was handed a drink. Something about it fell off, but she didn't hesitate. Maybe she wanted to fit in, or maybe it was the excitement of the night clouding her judgment. The drink left her feeling woozy and lightheaded almost immediately. She had only taken a sip. Trying to gather her bearings, she wandered into a quiet room and collapsed onto the bed, hoping to rest. This was supposed to be her dream night. Instead, it was quickly spiraling out of control. Not long after, the door opened. Combs, Jay-Z, and a woman. 3 figures, each with their own power and influence. She didn't know what to expect, but nothing could have prepared her for what happened next. Then she got into a heated confrontation between the girl and someone else at the party. Words were exchanged. The girl was confused, out of her element. She didn't know what exactly was happening. Was she just in the wrong place at the wrong time? Jay-Z was right there, but it didn't seem like harassment. In fact, he didn't seem to be involved in the chaos that was beginning to unfold. His presence was nothing more than an unnoticed shadow in the corner of the room. And just like that, rumors started to swirl. The guests at the after-party were blinded by the lights. No one seemed to notice her unease. The next we know is that they saw something happening, but no one could make sense of it. Speculation spread like wildfire, and by the end of the night, there were whispers about what had really taken place behind closed doors. People exchanged stories, half-truths, misinterpretations, and assumptions. And soon, it became the talk of the entire event. But was it just a misunderstanding? What really happened in that room? Was it real or just her mere imagination? The story resurfaces in the present, years after that chaotic night. Jay-Z's legal team is on a high alert, determined to piece together the origins of the explosive allegations. They started digging into old records, talking to anyone who was there that night, hoping to uncover the truth. A former party attendee, someone who had been quiet for years, suddenly comes forward with a statement. But what they reveal only muddies the water further. The story shifts again. The alleged victim, now an adult, sits down for an interview. Her words are cryptic and uncertain. She doesn't remember all the details, she admits. Yet, she's sure of what happened. There's a sense of unease in her tone, something that doesn't add up. Her fragmented memory leaves more questions than answers. Did she forget key details? Or was she never fully aware of what really happened in the first place? One thing is clear. There are red flags everywhere. Was she forced into the narrative by outside influences? Or was the trauma of the night clouding her judgment? The atmosphere at the party was thick with tension and confusion. The girl, now visibly distressed, was at the center of it all. The room was changed with speculation, but there was more to the situation than met the eye. As the crowd gathered around her, trying to figure out what was going wrong, the truth began to surface. A confrontation between the girl and the manager. The manager had, in fact, promised her access to the very stars she had dreamed of meeting, but then left her to fend for herself once they arrived. She was confused, overwhelmed, and upset, having expected a moment that would define her career, only to be left stranded in a party that was quickly spiraling out of control. It was then that Jay-Z entered the scene. He wasn't the cause of the chaos, nor was he the one who had led the girl into the mess. But he had a reputation to protect, and when he saw her distressed, he stepped forward to try and calm the situation. His intentions were clear: de-escalate the tension before it got worse. But to the onlookers, it seemed as though Jay-Z was just another player in a game he didn't fully understand. Some misinterpreted his actions, viewing him as more involved in the turmoil than he really was. Was he there to help, or did he have an ulterior motive? Was he truly the bystander, or was he just trying to change the narrative? Fast forward to today, and the aftermath of that infamous night has come to light in ways no one could have predicted. The investigation into the allegations revealed that much of what was being claimed was based on misremembered accounts and misrepresented facts. The web of rumors that had enveloped Jay-Z's name was starting to unravel. But in today's world, where the line between the truth and fiction often blurs under the weight of social media, the damage has already been done. Public opinion had turned on a dime. Jay-Z, however, wasn't going to let the narrative control him. He took the matters into his own hands, directly addressing the public. In a statement, he expressed his frustration over how quickly opinions could change in today's digital age. "It's dangerous," he said. "How a story can take on a life of its own. How quickly people can be convinced of something based on nothing but rumors. A couple of viral tweets, and suddenly the truth doesn't matter anymore." But it didn't stop there. Jay-Z's response was direct, cutting. and filled with the weight of someone who wasn't going to be dragged into a media frenzy. "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt," he revealed. "A demand letter from a so-called lawyer named Tony Busby. They thought they could use these allegations to force me into a submission, but no, this only made me more determined to expose this for what it truly is, a fraud." The statement went on, blunt, and he went on to say that only the network of conspiracy theorists and fake physicians will buy into these idiotic claims against him. If not for the seriousness of the harm to children, this whole situation would be laughable. Jay-Z's message was clear. He wasn't backing down. But even as he took control of the narrative, questions lingered. As the public reaction continued to boil, the story ended on an unsettling note. Did Jay-Z's defiance clear his name? Or did it leave even more doubt in the minds of those watching? To this day, the truth remains shrouded in mystery. But what do you think? Was it a case of misremembered events? Who should we believe? And will we ever truly know what happened behind those closed doors? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to check out other related videos on the channel.